Thanks, everybody, for being here. Good morning. It's great to be back in a game week. Going back to Players of the Week for the Nebraska week, Ethan Wiedeker on offense, getting his first start, really played well. Big playmaker was Riley Lees. A bunch of big plays in that game by him. Defensively was Cam Ruiz, and big playmaker on defense was Blake Gallagher. Special teams was Riley Lees with a big kickoff return. And a great job by that group. And been pretty solid all year. Practice players, Connor Newhouse on offense, Tyler Haskins on defense, and Rod Hurd in the kick game. Moving forward to this weekend, excited to have Sherrick McManus back as our honorary captain, 2009 captain for us, first team All-Big Ten as a junior. Year I think he had 5 picks. He's now been with the Bears for 10 years. I believe he's the longest tenured Chicago Bear. Had a pretty cool play in London a couple weeks ago at the 1-yard line that we're all proud of him. And he's been with the Bears now, for 8 seasons. So really fired up to have Sherrick back, being a part of the game on Friday, and look forward to his message to the team potentially on Thursday. Got a huge challenge in front of us, playing an outstanding team. But from a game standpoint, the logistics, I want to really say thank you to everyone that's been involved, working hard to make things go as smoothly as they can on Friday. I mean, from our partners at the middle schools and the grade schools here in Evanston, to our partners at the hospital, our partners on campus, Evanston Police, Northwestern Police, our game day operations folks. The list goes on and on. I'm sure I'm missing some out. But it's been quite a bit of an undertaking to be able to get the logistics done for a Friday night game here, especially with the location of Ryan Field and the partners that we have that we share things with. So a lot of hard work has gone into it, and I appreciate all that had to be done in preparation for the game. So with that, how about some questions, please?
Coach, do you have any update on the status of Trey Williams and Ben Skowronek?
Bennett's out. He'll be, like I said before, he'll be out for the indefinite future. So I'll give you an update when he's back in.
And then nothing on Trey right now?
Nothing right now.
How does game week change now with a game move up one day?
Exactly. You move everything up one day. So today was a Tuesday for us of game week. Tomorrow will be a Wednesday, then a Thursday, and then Friday for Thursday, and Saturday for Friday. So it's kind of a normal thing for us, more so in the opener potentially, and/or a bowl game that you have an off Saturday game. So you just adjust the schedule. But with both teams having a bye, I'm assuming Coach Day's doing a similar routine for the Buckeyes in Columbus.
Back in 06 and 07, you guys actually played one game each season on a Friday. Nevada in 06, Eastern Michigan in 07. Mm-hmm. What do you remember about those games, and how can you sort of use that potentially to get the team ready to play on Friday?
I didn't know that we did that. Was the Nevada game on the road?
Nevada game was on the road.
Yeah, I think that was the week my son Ryan was born. I don't remember jack squat about that week, so that was pretty chaotic, man. Have a baby on Tuesday and a game on Friday, or a baby on Monday. I don't know. You guys will see when you're dads. It's crazy stuff, man. It's wild. So nothing to remember about that one. What was the other game?
Michigan. That was when you guys played in Detroit.
Oh, that stunk. Oh, gosh. The venue was unbelievable, but there was like 12 people there, I think, if I remember. Great, Mr. Cat? 11 plus you and me? 10-ish? Yeah, it was brutal. We won, though, right?
You did?
Yeah, it was cool.
26-14.
Yeah, it was a brutal game. It's awful. Cool venue, though. Really awesome venue. So, no, I'm not going to use anything either of those weeks. I'm not having any kids this week, sorry.
Coach, you just faced Ohio State end of last year. They got a new coach, new quarterback. How different is it this time around, and is it more difficult, with a true dual threat guy at quarterback?
Yeah, well, we recruited Justin. I mean, he's a rock star person. We were blown away with him out of high school. And then all of a sudden, recruited. You guys gave him too many stars. It would have been great if you kept him where he was when we were recruiting him. But just a stud of a guy, and he's playing outstanding football. He's doing a great job. Playing within the framework of what Coach Day wants him to do, and then he's taking it to the next level, being able to be really explosive with his feet and being really smart when he's doing that. So. As we kind of watched some things evolve with Haskins last year, all of a sudden you got to kind of the Maryland game, and then the Michigan game and our game. And you saw kind of glimpses of where they're at right now. Where he was able to really extend plays with his feet and really make it a challenge, because you could have great – when we had some plays in championship game that we had just outstanding coverage. We got a guy there to make a play, and then Seven made a play. When you watch this year's offense, it's the same thing from that kind of last 3 weeks. So they just do a great job, and they've got weapons everywhere, everywhere. So it's starts and ends with the quarterback, but everybody else is first team All Big Ten in my book. They're phenomenal.
So at one point in training camp, you said that Hunter and TJ had separated themselves from the rest of the quarterbacks in the room.
Mm-hmm.
What has changed between now and then so that Aiden is on par with Hunter?
Well, I think, obviously have a larger body of work, and we're trying to have consistency. We're trying to have the ball be moved down the field within the framework of the offense and trying to find a way to score points. And so I'd say that's, as we're evaluating the efficiency of where our offense is at. And then, obviously injury for Hunter has set him back. So, kind of those two things.
Then just quick, Justin Fields, when he decided to transfer from Georgia, did you guys reach out?
Like I said, Louis' group gave him too many stars, brother. No.
You didn't think you had a shot?
Oh, come on, man.
You laughed.
No, I'm laughing. No, I'm. What are we, dating? Like, is it like a Friday night? I'm trying to. Never mind. I'll leave that one alone too.
Coach, what do you remember about that game, the last time Ohio State came here in 2013 with game day? And specifically, do you think that Kane Coulter picked up that first down late in the game?
God, you guys are full of them today. God, I'm bringing back some great memories and some challenging thoughts. That was a heck of an atmosphere. It was a great game. We made some critical mistakes. We made some huge plays. Our students, I think, had a great time the whole day, which is what it's all about. It's who we play for. And, we just came a couple plays short. So I thought our guys played their butts off.
Coach, this year you haven't quite gotten the production from the superback position that you've had with guys like Cam Green, Garrett Dickerson, Danny Vitale going all the way back. How do you think that's kind of affected this year's offensive struggles?
Well, I think we're young at the position. From an experience standpoint, it shows a little bit. I thought Charlie played really well in the opener. And the room just needs to continue to be consistent fundamentally first. That's where we're having our biggest issues. We've had a lot of attrition in that room and created a lot of depth issues, as you guys can see. It's always been a big part of our offense when that position has earned the ball, quite frankly. And, you go back to Drake Dunsmore, Danny Vitale, Garrett Dickerson. Those are 3 NFL players. A year ago, I think Cam had 65 receptions. We expect a lot of production out of that room. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that exact number. But, 60 plus, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So we're just not quite there yet, and we just got to keep working really hard, first and foremost fundamentally, and then executing when we're in the moment and not being worried about making mistakes. It happens from a lot of younger, inexperienced guys. And I'd also say that we've played some pretty darn good defenses. I'm sure you guys know the numbers and all that, but we've just got to keep getting better.
Coach, Charlie Kubender's had a pretty good year so far, and I'm wondering about, with a lot of talk this weekend about the Georgia-South Carolina game and Kirby Smart knowing his kicker and college kickers in general, how would you say your relationship is like, and when it comes down to big kicks like the one Blankenship head kick, what's the dynamic like between you two, and how comfortable do you feel?
Which one? Kick? Which kick from the from the South Carolina kid?
Yeah, South Carolina. Yeah, that decision to kind of go for it.
How far was that?
I want to say, was it 57? I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, Charlie, our relationship is outstanding. I've got great confidence in him. I have since the minute he got here. I don't know. I'd have to look specifically into every detail what went into Coach Muschamp's decision to kick that kick. But I've got great confidence in what Charlie can do.
Is that like is it a fluid situation? Do you have any say any kickers at all to kind of you and whether you want to go for it or?
Oh yeah, no. I mean, it was fun last week being with Jeff Budzine. or 2 weeks ago, I should say, in Nebraska. And yeah, no, we're in constant communication on where we think our yardage is at. I always try to put our kickers, though, in a position where I think they can be successful from the distance. I don't try to ask them to do something that maybe we haven't done in practice or things of that nature. How much time was left when Coach decided to do that? I don't remember. Yeah. It's kind of a no man's land deal, you know. And what was the D&D? Three or 13 are very different situations. So, yeah, all right, yeah. I mean, you're in a tough situation there, you know. I mean, you're playing to win, and if you've got confidence that your kicker can make that kick, you go for the win. And then you got to also know how your defense is playing, right? And if the defense is playing well and, you know, looking at the worst case scenario, it doesn't work out, then can your defense get the stop, right? So all those things play a role, especially specifically into the game, you know, how the game's flowing.
Fitz, during the Nebraska game, the announcers more than once said in their conversations with you that you said one of the reasons Aiden was playing is because he had a better understanding of the offense. Is that an accurate representation of what you had told him? And if so, what isn't Hunter getting?
Well, first of all, Hunter's not been in the offense as long as Aiden, so yeah, it's an accurate representation of what I said because of time on task. So that's what he's not getting. He's just got to keep getting time on task of being involved and engaged in the offense. So that's what I see. And then, you know, from a consistency standpoint of play, you got to go out and produce it on game day. And when you're not, you know, sometimes taking a step out is what you need to do. And it's funny, when I change the left guard, nobody talks to me about it. It's just kind of part of our game. So anything about the guards or the D tackles? Yeah, no, it's all good. It was great. He played great. He stepped up. He played well. Proud of him.
Coach, you talked a little about the challenges that Justin Fields presents on one side of the ball. On the other side of the ball, they got a guy, Chase Young, who is also very dominant at his position from an edge rusher standpoint. What do you guys have to do to contain him? Anything differently than you would normally do?
Yeah, he's a great player. I mean, he's a first-round talent, and he's playing like a first-rounder. I think he's healthy this year, and it shows. He can do everything. He's outstanding against the run. He's great, spectacular against the pass. He plays with a high motor. He's got great strip awareness when he gets to the quarterback. He's got great awareness of the ball. You know, he's one of the best I've seen in this league. So we're going to have our hands full. We've got to do a lot of things, but none of those will be any that I talk to you about. But I do appreciate the question.
And then defensively, you guys have had the same front seven in that starting lineup for every game this year, I believe. Almost, I might be mistaken on that. But how has that stability contributed to your guys' increased success over the last couple of weeks?
Well, I think it's obvious the experience level, the comparison on both sides of the ball. You know, it's not even close. So, you know, I think the experience that our defense has and the depth that we have there, I think shows. You know, we play a lot of guys and we're able to roll it and roll guys through. We just don't have that luxury. I mean, quite frankly, you know, right now on offense. So got to get some guys healthy. We've got to keep bringing some young guys along. They've got to be able to execute. And if they can and they get to that point, then, you know, we'll add them to the depth until they're able to do that. You know, obviously we gotta continue to just stress and press and work hard to improve the depth that we have right now. So that's kind of where we're at.
Hey, Coach, getting back to Justin Fields, he, you know, and the stars we talked about, right? He and Hunter were both five-star guys. A lot of similarities, right? They transferred. They're learning a new offense. Mm-hmm. And like you said, Justin's able to, you know, hit the ground running. He's having a successful season, and Hunter's still coming along and has been struggling a little bit. What do you attribute that to? Like, what's the
You're asking me to compare two different players in two different situations? I mean, I think that would be unfair to Justin and unfair to Hunter. You know, I think it's one of those situations where every player has a different maturation throughout their career. I mean, there's in my opinion, no similarities because everybody's experiences are totally different. I mean, you know, Clayton Thorson's experiences are different than any other quarterback that he went in with in any class. And Dan Percy, the list goes on and on and on. I mean, I would never compare. I would never insult a player-to-player comparison. I just don't think that that's fair based on external factors. You're talking about different schools. You're talking about stars. Everybody's got things going on in their lives that are completely different and make their experiences different and unique. So do I expect that Hunter will get his play up to where Justin's is at right now? I believe so. I believe in that. I believe that it'll happen, but that's going to come with work and it's going to come with time. And for some players, it just clicks. It just clicks right away because I don't know why. I couldn't tell you why, but with the way Justin has been able to have it click for him, it's been really fun to watch. Really happy for him, especially with the relationship that we had for a little while with him in recruiting. He's a great kid.
And you talked about the weapons he has too. I mean, is that a big factor in
No,
his success?
no, not at all. No.
Coach, with Rashawn Slater moving from right tackle to left tackle this season, what's his progress been in that development? I feel like it's been maybe a little bit slow. How's he coming along?
I think our offensive line has played great, guys. I'm sorry I don't read what you write, but our O-line's been playing really well. We've had some backs make some cuts that are just like, what was that? You turn your head as a coach, like, where are you going? We had a couple of missed targeted calls, which will happen from time to time in a game. We've had some quarterbacks not turn protections the right way and standing there whistling the Star Spangled Banner and getting hit in the back of the head. Those are not the O-line's fault. Maybe the reporters on the broadcast brought that up, but I doubt they did. But they're too busy talking about analytics. But at any rate, I think the O-line's played great. I think Rashawn's played outstanding. I think this is some of the most consistent offensive line play we've had in a while. I don't look at that group as being the issue at all with what's going on with our offense. Can they be better? Yeah, absolutely. They're going to have their hands full this week with their front four and their backers. Yeah, buddy. No doubt about it. So I expect they're going to step up and fight their rear ends off. That's what they've done all year, and I'm really proud of JT's leadership. I think he's been the best leader in the offensive line we've had in a long time. And I expect that will continue to go. And as he matriculates out of our program, hopefully that'll be the legacy that he leaves because he's been outstanding. But our issues and struggles offensively have not been because of our offensive line.
Coach, you talk about the struggles not being because of the offensive line, and especially against Nebraska, it seemed like they had a great game, only allowed one sack, not a whole lot of pressure. So what do you attribute the 10-point output to then?
I don't know. You guys can write the articles.
Internally, is there anything else that you're looking at besides the offensive line in terms of struggling? If
No,
they're-
we're just playing golf and like I said a couple weeks ago, all week. Yeah, guys. I mean, we're not playing well in a couple of positions. It's obvious. We got to play better. So you work hard to create game plans that you expect will work, and then get ready to adjust. And we just got to be able to get some things moving and get some things rolling. When you look at if we scored the most points on Wisconsin, you guys writing articles about that? Oh, well, Lottie frickin' die. Here we go. I mean, now we're talking. I feel better. It's motivating, inspiring. You guys have a wonderful week. I'll see you Friday night. Go Cats.